you're gonna get one.
Forget the last.
Now it took me a while to realize, you know, that's the fucking the Raw intro, the old Raw intro. He remixed it. I like this guy's remixes. They're really good, honestly. Really good remixes. Especially the Cold and Ice one. I love what he does with the wrestlers and how to add their special themes. There's the Steve Blackman one. That one's really fun. It's cold as ice. That one is really funny. There's I'm trying to think of the other ones as well. There's I'm trying to think. He's wiggle 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 fucking Jason Derulo. I'm trying to. It's the black Norman Smiley. Yeah, Norman Smiley. Obviously, there's the Norman Smiley wiggle one. There's the David Flair one where he makes the meme of him and all the other wrestlers. He's actually really. Wrestling Bias is one of the best YouTubers out right now, and one of the best YouTubers in history for me personally, at least for the content he puts out, and basically making his content feel like regular TV, which is what I love. You know, I'm a fan of both, obviously, structured content like television, and a fan of old shit, and a fan of new shit as well, like YouTube and everything. But he just puts the perfect mix in it. You know, I can open YouTube and watch it like I'm opening my TV and watching somebody do a head-to-head between Raw and Nitro recap. Like this could be some normal shit on TV, honestly. So if you want to, don't watch these videos through me. If you are gonna watch this video, don't watch these videos through me. Watch these through him. Watch all these videos. Go back all the way fucking back to 1995. Look at the progression and the effort he makes. I remember he said he does 12 hours of editing 3 times a week, which is honestly very impressive. So shout out Wrestling Bios. You know, I'm a heavy wrestler buying fan, and hey, I'm a jam up guy. What else can I say? Damn, 251. You see what I mean? This nigga's consistent. Let me put this up a little bit.
August 2000.
You know,
tonight we've got
it's
Raw
my
in
soldiers
Greensboro,
too.
North Carolina,
Ayo.
by Nitro's in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And guys, the NWO's back.
Fuck!
NWO 2000. Jeff Jarrett gave Kevin Nash.
No way, NWA 2000's back. Fuck me, bro. Like, you think after Bret Hart they'll let that shit go, but apparently not. Apparently not.
An assist on Thunder, and Nitro opens up with Big
Jeez,
Kev,
these
Double
niggas
J,
don't know how to
Sauce,
let go of the
and
NWA
Getting
at
out
all.
of the scene
Like,
before heading
that
into
shit
the
was
arena.
cool in '97. It was
WCW
cool when they had the.
NWO 2000 hype
What's it
video
called?
before the
It was
show
cool when they
opened
had
up.
the
So they're definitely
fucking.
presenting this
I
as an
can't think.
NWO comeback.
It was cool when they had the Wolfpack. Yeah, it was cool when they had the Wolfpack too, but you know, apparently no. They just want to keep redoing that shit.
If I didn't
I'm gonna have ads on
I wouldn't be able to do my job the way that I do it today. McDonald's?
Over on Raw, Mick Foley promises an exciting show just 24 hours after SummerSlam.
Mick Foley as general manager was really good from what I've seen so far. He knows how to play general manager.
See Taz versus Steve Blackman for the hardcore belt? Hell yeah. And The Rock's going to defend the WWF title against Kane. Stephanie McMahon has him.
This is the shit we're missing from wrestling now. Having proper main event attractions, like pay-per-view level attractions, dropped on normal TV. When was the last time, like, I'm watching C-Jax. C-Jax, obviously, he has obvious good critiques. He has good critiques. Sometimes he exaggerates it. Sometimes he pushes it over the edge. But obviously, one is one opinion. And two, he is on YouTube. So he needs to do it for entertainment factors in order to push his point across and get a greater appeal. I respect it. You know, obviously, we have to mix the entertainment with the critics and the criticism so we can have an appeal to fans. But he is completely right when he's saying our WWE champions are not defending for jack shit. Like, cool, we are getting, I think, is it today? No. It's Saturday for me because Australia. And Saturday we're getting the women's, the last woman standing match. This is the first last standing match in, like, when was the last man standing match? Last man standing match. When was the last stand match? Fuck, I can't even think properly. The last one might have actually been Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. Like, what the fuck? The last... I have to put a comma into this shit because I'm not too... Well, let's just check here. Alright, so they have all the last man standing matches. The last standing match was... Oh no, this is different company, TNA. Okay. The last one was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in 2022. If I'm correct. Is what I'm looking at? 2020. The first one was Undertaker versus the Executioner. What the fuck? That is a odd last man standing match. But see, you can see like they had it semi-consistently, like 96. I understand it's the first time. You don't think about it too much. They had it in 99, and they had it in 2000. Another one in 2000, 2001. They didn't have it too much, and then they had it in 2003. Obviously, this is during this was bold unmasked Kane era. And then 2004 with the Shawn Michaels. See, that makes sense. That's a real blood feud. We don't have blood feuds anymore. I'm so serious. JBL versus Kurt Angle. That's a good... See, so... 2000, see, we have 2001. We have a 2-year gap. Okay, understandable. 2003, 2004, 2005, 2005, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2007, 2007, 2007, 2008, 2008, 2008, 2008, 2009, 2009, 2009, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2011, 2011, 2-year gap again, 2013, 2013, 2013, 2014, 2014, 2014, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2017, 2017, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, 2022. So we've had 53 in total. Obviously, you don't want to overbook the last man standing match. This should be only used for proper blood feuds. Like, for example, how a Hell in a Cell should not be a fucking whole... Like, I'm happy to get rid of it. How Hell in a Cell used to be a whole pay-per-view. It shouldn't be... It should only purely be for blood feuds like it used to be. Like, we used to have them in WrestleMania. We used to have them on proper pay-per-views other than Hell in a Cell. And we used to even have them on Raws and SmackDowns. Please bring that back. So... if we look at it, the last one is in 2022, all right? Fucking 2022 is the last one. Now, 3 years is the next one. And 3 years later is respect to my women. We love our women's wrestlers. But it's a women's match. That's one. So that means there still isn't going to be one for the men's match. And 2, it's also for Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. Now, have they had any type of beef? This is not a culmination. This is not a blood feud. I fuck with having stipulations on free TV. One of my favorite SmackDown matches has to be Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, 1 hour Iron Man match. But look at Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle versus Nia Jax. And you taking music requests? No, I'm not taking music requests at the moment. I'm watching Reliving the War. That's this thing over here. My fault. Maybe I'll do music requests later when I'm playing Simpsons Hit and Run. But right now I'm watching YouTube, so I apologize. But yeah, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is the last one. Now, one of my favorite Iron Man matches is, and SmackDown matches in general, is Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, which is free TV on SmackDown. This is not even Raw, which is on cable TV. This is free TV from America and many other places on the fucking world. Like, I think it was on UPN in UK, or Channel 4, I'm not sure. I wasn't born in the UK. But yeah, that's one of my favorite matches. Now think of the difference between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. That storyline feud, like, think about it. That shit was only 1 year, maybe 2, from like 2002 to 2003. Like, just think of how much, like, think of how many memorable segments and moments we have. Like, this is an immortalized feud. So there's that versus Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Now, women's matches can be wonderful. Women's feuds can be wonderful. We've had the 4 horsewomen of NXT one of the most darling eras of NXT. We all remember that. One of the most darling eras of women's wrestling with, I think it was the 4 main women. So there was Bayley, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. Now that's an era we all remember. Shouts out to Triple H for doing that. But yeah, that's that era. We obviously have stars like Rhea Ripley. We've had you know, interesting matches. We've had all the feuds with obviously the main stars, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. You know, I can't recap the feuds too much right now. We have people like Bianca Belair, Io Sky, people that you could put into good feuds, and then you can give us a last woman standing match, which makes so much more sense to us. Now, this last woman standing match that I'm seeing in SmackDown, I'm feeling like it's more of a here, have it, rather than an actual, you know, this is a proper feud that we are gonna give a good match on TV. This is a here, have it. Like, we understand that SmackDown hasn't been too good, so fuck it. It's 3 hours, we're bored. Have this match. So like, just like damn, you know, we haven't had a last man standing match in a fucking long time, and this is what I mean by stipulations. Stipulations are just not seen like they are, and actual champions are just not defending on weekly TV like they used to, and you can't even make excuses like, oh, they have house shows. They did more house shows back then, way more house shows back then, and they were still appearing on TV weekly. You can say, injuries and shit. Well, you know, injuries have always been around for history. I'm not trying to make these niggas, like, burn themselves out and shit, but at least have our main champions, your main attractions, the people who are supposed to be on, be more consistently on TV. Wasn't this the reason we had the World Heavyweight Championship? Because Roman Reigns was the main WWE champion, but he was a part-timer. So that's why we had the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins was having matches here and there. Obviously, there's a match between him and Braun Breaker at NXT. That was something we all remember. That was something huge. But look at Gunther. I think I saw CJ say it. Gunther had a reign for fucking how many days and only defended it like a handful of times. Cody Rhodes, who said on TV, I'm going to be a full-timer. I am not going to be like Roman Reigns. I'm actually going to wrestle properly. Fucking barely appeared. Barely appeared at all, which is just crazy to me when you think about. And then obviously we had, what's his name? I'm trying to think of another nigga. Io Sky barely wrestling. Even though Io Sky is one of the best women's wrestlers. Like, I love that triple threat match at WrestleMania. I think that might have been the best match outside of, obviously, I'm trying to think, outside of the triple threat between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. One of my favorite matches at WrestleMania. Honestly, the top 2 matches those right there. But triple threat matches. Those were the best matches on the pay-per-view of the biggest night of the year. And yet, she is barely defending a championship. Night of Champions, where is she to be seen? Night of Champions is supposed to be every championship. If you know Night of Champions is supposed to be a big pay-per-view where every championship is being contended, why have it in Saudi Arabia where people are going to be like, fuck no, I don't want to appear. Don't have it on Saudi Arabia. Have it like Crown Jewel like you did previous years. Have that big Crown Jewel champion. Because obviously the the main champions are fighting. We have CM Punk versus John Cena, and then I don't know the women's match is happening, but yeah, have Crown Jewel, have that big event, make it seem big, you know, a yearly event in Saudi Arabia, whatever, fuck it, and then have Night of Champions in a different pay-per-view, in a different place where all champions can fight, and it can be like the old school shit where they used to have the drapes and the banners. You remember the old Night of Champions thing, Night of Champions fucking arena, where they had the yes, right here. They had, like, it's not the most special feeling. This isn't WWE. What the fuck? But yeah, obviously, like, here, and you have the championships here, like, actual, you know, Night of Champions. All the championships are being defended. This is why it's called Night of Champions. But no, like, damn, WWE, bro. Like, I love the product, but you guys are fucking me up so badly, so badly.
Been seen for 24 hours. Hunter's waiting for her backstage, so I assume she's choking on Kurt Angle's Olympic gold medal right about now. But who knows?
Obviously, right now we're going through the Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon fucking love triangle.
Today. Thank you for being here. Let's see what happened this week on Raw and Nitro. We've got 6-man tag matches to kick us off. The Acolytes and Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit in TNA. On Nitro, the Dark Carnival take on 3 Count.
Now the ICP is just funny to think about it.
Chris Benoit. Y2J launches
Now, bro, this is the type of shit we're talking about. Now these niggas are having their own separate feud. They're being forced into their own like tag team matches to have these niggas have intensity in actual fights. You know, make these niggas mad at each other. I don't see real intensity in WWE anymore, or wrestling in general. Like I haven't seen this shit. Like Gunther versus Jey Uso has happened 4 different times, yet each match feels the same. It feels like their first match. It doesn't feel like it's a blood feud that's culminating and escalating, especially after I had a match on fucking WrestleMania. WrestleMania should make me, I lost on WrestleMania, I'm angry as shit. Bro, think about this. Imagine they had that match. Obviously, Jey Uso is bruised up. We all know Jey Uso is bruised up. He's hurt. So, obviously, have Gunther beat the fuck, just beat the living fuck out of Jey Uso. Just destroy him, you know, and just say, you know, Jey Uso's injured. He can't fight back. Just have him chop that area, chop the bruised area, fight it. Just put it, you know, put him in actual proper wrestling holds, not just the fucking bear hug shit I kept seeing. That made me angry when they kept going back and forth, just holding holds. Like it's like boring. It's the fucking what's the thing shit. What's it called? Stone Cold boring. It's genuinely just like this is exactly how I feel fucking watching that. Like it was just so boring. Like please just like bring out my fucking pillowcase. You know, I lie down on my bed when I watch this shit because I have a TV in my room. So, like, when that shit's on, I'm just dozing off because that shit's just genuinely boring, my nigga. Like, there's so much better shit you can do. Like, come on, deadass. Like, have him beat the fuck out of him, you know. Have Jey Uso have his spurts and he's fight back. But every time Jey Uso fights back, ooh, my stomach. And when that stomach happens and he's fucking hurting there, have Gunther come back, beat the fuck out of that same place again and again, beat him. So it puts over Gunther as this wrestling monster, this wrestling heel, like you guys are trying to say he is. And then and then Jey Uso is not really weak. It's just he's hurt. And then have an ambulance storyline, have him taken up on the ambulance, have him carried, you know. Obviously, have Jey Uso sit out for a bit, you know. Have him sit out, calm down, you know. Have his momentum built up. Now, oh, our main event is hurt. Give Gunther proper heel heat. Like, people actually hate Gunther now because it took out the Yeet guy, the Yeet man. Like, come on. And then have him come back a few weeks later. Have him suck him in the back of his head. Have him angry as shit. Because remember what he was doing to fucking Jimmy Uso as well. Had him bleeding. Had his blood all over his face or his hand. I forgot what it was. All over his body. Did all this different shit to Jimmy. And Jay wasn't mad as shit, like, excuse me. Like, just because you're a babyface doesn't mean you can't rightfully be angry. You know, if someone's breaching me, if someone's doing something bad to me, I should have the right to fight back. Fight back, nigga. Fight back. Like, that type shit. So, have him come back, all healed up, jump into, Gunther match, just have him beat him, and just angry as shit, and be like, I want my title back, but I don't want a normal match. You fucked up my brother. You fucked up me. You put me in the hospital. And then say, I'm not fighting in a regular match. I'm fighting you in an ambulance match. Make that for the next pay-per-view. Make that maybe SummerSlam. SummerSlam could be the ambulance match. Everybody's fucking cheering. The crowd's going crazy. Oh shit, it's Jey Uso. Jey Uso's back. Jey Uso's back. Yeet, yeet. Like all that crazy shit. Don't have him just cut the same promo. Have him come back angry. A different face, not the face that's smiling, you know, 4 letters, 1 word, like, no, like, have him actually back angry, a different character, showing a different side of him that we don't see normally outside from Jey Uso, kind of like what he was doing with the fucking New Day, when the New Day weren't purely just baby faces, they were heels as well, because we know Jey Uso can work as a heel. We've seen him work as a heel, when he's doing that whole rep shit, you know, chains, grills, all that shit against the New Day. We all remember that. And that was good. We enjoyed it when it happened. So have Jey Uso show he's more, you know, we won't be an anti-hero because he's justified. We all know he's justified. So he'll still be a face. Have Gunther have actual heat. Have Gunther be like, Jay, I put your brother in the hospital. I put you in the hospital. And now you want to fight me in an ambulance match? Like, have that shit. Now the crowd is booing. They firmly fucking hate Gunther because what he did to their favorite star. And Jey Uso is massively over now. And now you have a new merch is selling off the roof. You know, all that shit. Just have him back. And then after we can have the ambulance match. And this could be the bookend of the storyline. Have actual blood and guts. You know, have niggas bleeding. Like you had Jimmy bleeding. Had both of them bleeding. Having them back and forth. Have an intense match from the jump. Because this is a blood match. This is a match that's happened multiple times. We can't... It's like if you watch Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho. Honestly, any Chris Benoit match. For example, if you watch Chris Benoit versus Booker T. They had a best of 7 series in both the WWE and in WCW. The WCW one's better, obviously, because they're younger. But the WWE one is decent as well for the US title. They had a best of 7 series. No two matches felt the same. You know, we saw the first match, they're filling each other out. The second match, they're getting to know each other. The third match, oh shit, you know that move, I know that move. Let me find out new moves. This is what it should be. The match should not be the same as the first match. I should not see these niggas feeling out. I should not see these niggas back and forth into the bear hug shit. We don't fuck with that shit. That shit was boring, my nigga. I did not want to see that shit. Like, please. So, like, yeah. Have that shit. Have niggas actually fight, have niggas actually go back and forth, and then boom, we have the culmination. Fans are happy, and this can be a precedence for a lot of other shit. Don't just throw stipulations because they want to, you know. Like, have niggas actually do shit. Bring old stipulations back. Bring proper shit back, you know. Have niggas actually show shit outside of being a big, because everyone's having this mixed booking. We don't know who to boo, who to cheer. Are we even booing Dominic Mysterio at this point because he's a heel? We're just booing him because we like to boo him. Like, come on, man. It's not that hard, really. If me, someone who's only watched wrestling, I don't have no framework of the business. I don't pay attention to the business. I've never been in the business. I don't know anybody in the business. Can think of something as that simple just from, like, paying attention to, I don't know, corny and being a mark. Like, come on, you guys can think of way better where you guys having professional writers, you know, live audience retention, you know, you can have studio audiences, have live reactions, all this shit. You have questions to ask, people to see. You have billions of dollars, and you're still giving us bullshit. Like, come on, man. Damn. Shit.
Y2J gets a pinfall win after delivering a lion salt. So it's a crowd-pleasing opener on Raw, though the finishing outcome didn't really do anything to progress the Jericho versus Benoit story.
Fair enough.
On Nitro, the Great Muta joins the commentary table.
Now, the Great Muta has to be one of the best international or Japanese wrestlers in the... What the fuck is this nigga talking about? What the fuck is this nigga talking about? But yeah, he's one of the best foreign heels in wrestling at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but all time, honestly. Everybody knows who he is, the Great Muta. Man, the ICP being in wrestling is so weird when you think about it. These niggas are jugglers. That means, bro, Muta and Vampiro but juggler. Muta's a fucking juggler. Bro, that's fucking funny as shit. I low-key wish I could fucking Photoshop Muta as a juggler. Actually, can I? Nah, I'll look at that later, honestly.
Comes down to beat up 3 count, but the Carnival end up helping the boys out, and Wank gets annihilated. The Demon came down to help out Tank because I guess he's a big fan of his work.
I mean, so yeah, man. Like I said, the Demon was supposed to be in a whole different storyline with Vampiro, but obviously they got shut down by the board of directors. So, you know, Christopher Daniels wasn't able to be there, and then all that other shit. So.
And we get a glimpse of the absolute state of this company when Sting celebrates afterward alongside the Kiss Demon in Tank.
What? That's a cursed image to think about. Like, bro, fucking YouTube. What's with all these ads, man?
Triple H is freaking out about Stephanie, and X-Pac tells his buddy not to worry. Pac just saw Steph, and apparently she's in good hands. Hunter doesn't appreciate X-Pac making fun of him, so he gets some wise words from the wisest man in the WWF, Road Dogg Jesse
Road
James.
Dogg Jesse
Road Dogg
James.
says it's okay, Stephanie can look after herself, and the roadie, being a husband and all, knows
Now, man, if my girl was like two-timing me and I gotta worry about my WWE Championship as well, I can't imagine being Triple H. But it's funny how Triple H's best storyline sometimes just involves Stephanie. Like, damn.
Kurt explains that he got a bad concussion last night at SummerSlam, and therefore he
that SummerSlam match, you guys have to like tune into it. It's actually pretty good. Reliving the War also did a recap of it. Yeah, that's fucking brutal, man. Like, replay that. That's damn. Like, look at the way he's like head banged on the fucking thing. Like, obviously that's an unplanned spot. The table wasn't supposed to break down beforehand, and apparently he did have a legitimate concussion. Like, he actually was loopy and forgot the match. I'm surprised he even went back and wrestled. That's tough. You know, that shows the determination of old school wrestlers, but also the straight stupidity. Because obviously in this climate, that shit would never happen again, like at all. Obviously, we have the CTE. Not CTE. Did I say CTE? My fault. You had the concussion test. See if he's able to go back in. He can't go back in. Go out, which is the smart way to do. We don't want another he who shall not be named. So, like, you know.
Doesn't know what happened. What Kurt does know, however, is that he still competed in the match. He knows that Hunter smacked Steph, and he knows he got Stephanie safe to hospital after the pay-per-view ended. In Kurt's eyes, Hunter's recent actions are borderline criminal. JR butts in here to remind fans that Hunter accidentally hit Steph.
This nigga hit his wife. Come on. That's crazy. You don't see this shit in wrestling no more. Like, I remember, like, for example, WrestleMania 2000, The Rock hits Stephanie McMahon with a rock bottom, and I think they took that out of the thing. They took that out of the replay of the actual pay-per-view. Like, they cut that out because obviously we're against domestic violence and all that shit, which rightfully said. We're not on team domestic violence. No.
Jackass every week. He actually does a wonderful job, but Hunter's not buying it. Kurt's not fooling anyone. So before he gets his ass beat, Angle better tell Triple H where his wife is.
Damn.
Kurt says he's an Olympic gold medalist. Triple H says,
I want to go medal with my breaking freaking neck.
Out here is that fans are cheering for Triple H tonight.
Why?
Kurt says maybe Steph hasn't contacted her husband because she's.
To be honest, they're both heels, so who really gives a fuck? And plus, Kurt Angle's completely in the wrong. Like, I understand Triple H where he's coming from. Like, my nigga, this is his girl and future wife, so. I mean, this is actually his wife in storyline as well. The McMahon-Helmsley era, so. Yeah, nigga, this is his wife. Whoa, this is his wife, my nigga, shit.
And he wants to fight. Officials gain control of the situation, and we go over to China and Eddie backstage. China and Eddie,
like, bro, I was watching the segments and shit. Like, I remember there was the one about, I think, China going to the Playboy Mansion. Bro, Eddie Guerrero is one of the best performers of all time. Like, in terms of mixing wrestling with the art of promos and the ability to talk to the audience and just being funny while not coming off as, like, an idiot. Like, honestly, Eddie Guerrero is really up there. But this shit that they're doing right here, the China and Eddie shit, is what they could possibly be doing with the Dominic Mysterio. I think that's why they got the idea for Dominic Mysterio, obviously. You know, obviously Dominic Mysterio has a history with Eddie Guerrero, obviously dating back to the ladder match. And then obviously Eddie will be significantly in Dominic's life, being with Rey Mysterio and how they're best friends. So he'll practically be an uncle to him. So obviously that's where they got the storyline from. That makes sense. But instead of having Instead of having Dominic Mysterio be this conniving type of guy like Eddie was, like, obviously at first we saw Eddie was being with China, and then Eddie started taking advantage of China, getting the championship off her, showing his jealousy and shit. Dominic Mysterio isn't really showing that. Dominic Mysterio is this woman hopping, like, okay, like, that's not really like the best thing ever. And it kind of seems like he's stuck in that limbo, like he can't escape that, like, that hell of being stuck in the Judgment Day cycling. Like, you know how Chris Jericho had these the Tree of Life or whatever that was. Like, everybody calls it the Jericho Vortex, where if you get caught in a segment with Chris Jericho, you're not escaping. You're done. You're cooked. Like, you're over, basically, and you'll be stuck in this meaningless storylines for fucking ages for no reason, almost killing your momentum. That's kind of what the Judgment Day is becoming now. Like the Judgment Day is having its own vortex where if you get stuck into the Judgment Day, they don't want to end the Judgment Day. Like they've been running ever since Edge was in the company. My nigga, Edge has left the company how many years ago? Like I think like almost 2 years ago now. If I wanna, maybe 3 years ago. When did Edge leave WWE? Edge left 2 fucking years ago. So he left 2 years ago. Yet the Judgment Day is still going on. Which is like, I understand it if you want to still have the faction on. It's hard to make a new faction and have them established like the Judgment Day. But yet you have the Judgment Day. It's still going on. They haven't really done anything of significance. The only big things I can think of is obviously cashing in the Money in the Bank Damian Priest. And then obviously Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest. And then what else? Yeah, Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest. And then getting Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, whatever her name is. Yeah, so like nothing of significance is really happening. Like, why is Raquel Rodriguez wrestling Rhea Ripley? Like, we don't really need that right now. Like, have Dominic Mysterio show why he deserves to be IC champion. You know, have him be conniving, be smart, be like the Eddie type of character. I don't care if you want to reuse the character. Honestly, at this point, I'd rather them take inspiration and reuse characters, because that's how NXT got over, really. NXT was reusing older storylines, you know, NWA or old WWE booking, and just redoing them, the basic DX storyline, like how they had Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Triple H turns on Shawn Michaels. The same thing with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They're just reusing shit. I have no problem with that. Reuse it for a modern context. That's how wrestling is. No storyline is truly original after the Attitude Era, where they've done everything that could be done on the planet Earth. Like, nothing new can be done ever since the Attitude Era. They've done everything. Like, Jim Cornette has said this. They've done everything. They've ran over people. Cement trucks into cars. Fucking beer trucks. Everything has been done on the face of the planet when it comes to wrestling. FMW has... The 90s is fucked up wrestling, if we're being honest. Because in the 90s, because of that counterculture period and just that hot stuff and Jerry Springer, everything that could be done in wrestling has been done already. Anything new that you could do in wrestling has been done already. Anything that doesn't include newer technology like phones, drones, or whatever has been done in wrestling. So you can't do something new. So just go with the old and reuse them in a new context. There's so many types of matches that just been lost in memory that we could reuse. I remember, for example, WrestleMania 2000, we had Chris Jericho versus Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. Wonderful match. These are all their first like WrestleMania matches. They did it where whoever got pinned won the championship. So obviously, Kurt Angle he was a Eurocontinental champion. For those that don't know, that's holding a European and Intercontinental championship. They held it at the same time. They did stipulation. If you get the first pin for the European Championship, second pin for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, Chris Jericho won the European Championship. Chris Benoit won the Intercontinental Championship. The thing is, they pinned each other. They didn't pin Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle technically did lose the championship, but he never really lost it because he never got pinned. Now, this helped in the storyline because Kurt Angle was fuming. He was angry as shit. I never lost the championship. He said, I'm still the real world champion. I never got pinned. It's like open-ended booking where you can book shit to later divert into more storylines, divert into more shit. A multi-man match shouldn't happen because we can have multi-man matches. Multi-man matches should happen because people are beefing, you know. Have shit make sense, you know. Have characters make sense. I am a fan of wrestling and always will be, but why I've been driven away from the product for so long is because shit doesn't make sense anymore, you know. Obviously, we had stuff like CM Punk brought back. Like I said, I was a big fan of wrestling during that SmackDown Live era. I really enjoyed it. Dean Ambrose is one of my favorite wrestlers. I love The Shield. The Shield was so fucking cold. Shield versus Evolution. This is another idea of open-ended booking. Shield versus Evolution. Batista left the company in real life, so the Authority Evolution come. They're like, hey, we always have a plan B. Boom. Seth Rollins turns their back on the Shield, and then he joins the Authority. They're brand new heel, super heat, because everybody loved the Shield, and he turned his back on them. And look, that storyline has been used in every future storyline now. Every time Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins fight, it's a callback to the Shield. It's a callback to the backstab with the chair. That shit is always being reused, you know. It's just open-ended booking, but it just seems now, because we have so many PLEs, you know, and super cards. We have Raw is 3 hours, SmackDown is 3 hours. We have Saturday night main event, and then we have the PLEs. That's 4 concurrent shows. You know, obviously 2 shows that are like once in a month, but 4 concurrent shows that we're having, and you're trying to book for all these shows. Like, and think about it, we have all these wrestlers. Like, we could bring back we can bring back the brand split if we really wanted to, because we technically do have the brand split. Like, we technically do have it, and there's still the draft. So we could do brand only segments. So then we can honestly have Raw shit and SmackDown shit. You know, just like the old days, if you want to have a big roster like we do, and be able to have concurrent storylines that are proper, and then obviously have the big 5, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. I'm trying to think of the other 2. Fuck, I can't think of the other 2. Damn. Oh, Royal Rumble, of course, Royal Rumble, and then it's another big one. Fuck it, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so you have the big 5. We can have all that, and then now that we have the night 1, and the night 2. Obviously, we'll have SmackDown matches in night 1, and then Raw matches in night 2. So then they can both have their bookends and their big shit. Or we can mix it up still, who cares, who really minds. But yeah, we could do that. But because there's so much going on, it's just like storylines will happen. And instead of having multiple storylines going on, because this is 3 hours, remember. 3 hours, you can do so much shit in 3 hours. Instead of having multiple shit go on, we just have storylines being stretched out, or storylines just being dropped for no reason. What happened with Otis? Otis should have been super fucking over at this moment by fighting Chad Gable. That was a booking 101. That was ultimate shit that we could have seen. That was just, anybody could have seen that. All fans saw that. All fans are like, why do we not have Otis versus fucking Chad Gable on a fucking thing, on a big shit? If you're gonna have something like a Triple H versus Batista type moment, like obviously what they're trying to do with the, I'm trying to think, like, not the Judgment Day, what they're trying to do with whatever Seth Rollins' big group is, having Brunson Reed break out. Honestly, I don't even fuck with Seth's new faction. I don't know why that shit exists. But yeah, have that shit, and then I don't know, man. I'm getting fumed talking about this shit, honestly.
She actually feels a bit sorry for Hunter, but Eddie tells his Mamacita to focus on her upcoming IC title defense. On Nitro, Vince Russo leads the NWO 2000 down to the ring. And
why is Vince Russo trying to act like he's fucking Eric Bischoff, man? And he's mixing with the white boy group. Oh my days, the white boy group. Oh shit. Nah. Fucking the white boy group. Oh, you guys have to see this shit. Dead ass. Oh my days, we might have to watch this nigga shit, cause bro, I just love these fucking videos. Horace Hogan, that's just funny as. I love the Horace Hogan shit. Yeah, tune into this guy's YouTube channel. This guy's just good, in all honesty. I'm trying to find the white boy shit. It's the worst thunder ever. Yes. Let me try to find it. They all just hop out the bus and shit. Would this be like the last episode? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find it. I don't know when it'll be. It's a whole 3-parter, so there'll be heaps of shit happening. Bro, this Nitro shit is crazy. Look at how the fucking white boys.
Parking lot with Pamela through the bus. He's going to the bus. He says, "Look, he looks just like the real thing. Look at this."
Bruh.
And then Jeff Mike also
Fucking Jeff Jarrett. And then
all 20 of them.
the fucking white boys.
Jesus.
They all jump. That's awesome.
Fucking the white boys. Oh shit. No way they had the white boys with the fucking NWO. I mean, hey, we're bringing up the young bloods, but shit, man. And then, bro, it's not even the end too. Like, there's more. There's somehow more. Is this the part 2? Yeah, fucking, bro. I don't know. This is so crazy, man. Bro, I have to rewatch old fucking Nitros, cause bro, this shit is just like, what the fuck's going on in this shit? Like, bro.
Arguing with Goldberg, Booker T spit a Rudy. Dude.
Bro, like, fucking look at this shit. That's what I'm talking about. Like, what the fuck are they doing, the white boys? Like, what the fuck, man? Bro. And then fucking 4, 5, 6 white boys all just hopping out the bus. Like 20? Like, what the fuck? And then they're just getting their ass whipped by Goldberg. And then what is Jeff Jarrett still doing there? Like, so they took fucking Mike Austin's 70s bus when they're done. And then how the fuck is, like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
Clown car out of the clown bus. 20 white
man,
boys.
a Trojan host of white boys. My word, man. Like, jeez. The fucking white boys.
Right now are the elite group in WCW. 11 months ago, Russo came to the company with a plan, and now, according to Vince, the band is back together. Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, man. How many iterations of the NWO are there? Let me set it up now. I have to know how many iterations of the NWO. So I know there's obviously NWO. There's NWO Black and White. There's NWO Wolfpack. And then the NWO B team. And then there's when they came back together. And then there's NWO Silver. There's NWO Silver. So that's NWO 2000. And then they just brought back NWO 2000. So in my mind, there's 7 NWOs. Now just think about this. The NWO came out in 1997. Was it 96? No, Bash to the Beach 96. So NWO started in 96. So in the matter of 4 to 5 years, the NWO reappeared 7 different times. There's 7 different iterations of the NWO in fucking 5 years. Just think about it. They ran that shit dry. Like, bruh. How many iterations of the NWO is there? Yeah, see, in professional, there's a new world that had 8 different iterations, my nigga. There's the original NWO, like I said. NWO Hollywood, which is the black and white, like I said. There's Wolfpack, like I said. NWO B Team. And I forgot about NWO Japan, bro. Like what the fuck? And then what's it? This, bro. NWO Japan, and then yeah, they had the Great Muta. They had Fake Sting. That's where Fake Sting had went. And then they had I forgot this guy. This guy, he was in the black and white, and he had beef with the. He was in the NWO B team. I remember him, bro. Like, damn, my nigga. And then, and then there's the BWO. Fucking everybody knows the BWO. You know, there's Blue Meanie, Stevie Richards, and then Nova. And then there's the BWO Japan, which had Dick Togo and shit, didn't he? Yeah, Dick Togo. I'm trying to remember the guys from Kai and Tai. I remember the guys from Kai and Tai. Michinoku, Taka Michinoku, and I forgot the other guy. But yeah, this BWO Japan as well, bro. The NWO has spawned off a lot of cursed shit. Yeah, legit. Look, Kai and Tai. And then, I don't know his name. I forgot. Oh, Grand Hamada. It says right here. Grand Mahada. And then the other guy is... No. The names are here. If I can... Oh, it's on Instagram Reels. Fuck it. No, I don't want to sign into Instagram. Yeah, there's fucking... Tasha Michinoku, Terry Boy, and Dick Tugger. Yeah, that's Dick Tugger right... No. Dick Tugger is right there, I think. Yeah, that's Dick Tugger over there. That's Kai and Tai. I mean, that's Kai and Tai. That's Taka Michinoku over there. And then over here is fucking, I'm guessing, Terry Boy, of course. But bro, ECW is nuts. I definitely have to do rewatches of ECW. Because as a person born nowhere close to when ECW existed. This shit has still had significance in my life. And I've watched a few ECW shows like in full. Like, bro, look at this shit. And this was all before the cruiserweight division in WCW. This was all before, you know, all that crazy shit was existing in American pro wrestling. This was before all the indies, all the different shit. This is like the first actual representation of multifaceted wrestling. Obviously, you had Lucha Libre, you had Japanese wrestling here, and then you had American pro wrestling, and then you had the hardcore shit. That's how ECW still lives in. That's how I hate when people say, oh, ECW is all just like blood and guts. Like, nah, ECW is so much more. The reason it was called Extreme was because the fans were, you know, the internet fans, the smart fans, they knew everything. That was the only reason they're called Extreme. It wasn't because, obviously, like, you know, the blood and the weapons and the fighting was like the main aspect, but it wasn't the main thing. Like, there was many different aspects to watch in ECW. We have people like Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, everybody in the Revolution. So, Dean Malenko. My head is fucking up so much. Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho is completely different. Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn, and Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, they all came out of ECW, and they had wonderful matches. Honestly, just watch Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero, and you'll see that ECW is way more than Blood and Guts. They had old school wrestlers, if you didn't know. Like, they had appearances from the WCW wrestlers. There was the Steiners. The Steiners had a match in ECW. Now, the Steiners aren't fucking doing no hardcore shit. Just think about that logically. They had Mick Foley. Mick Foley wasn't originally supposed to be in ECW. He was a crossover from WCW, but he spit on the title belts and then he got fired. There was Kevin Sullivan, I'm pretty sure. Like, not Vampire. Who's that other? He was in that Grand Grill. Yeah, Grand Grill came from ECW. There was Raven. Raven came from ECW. You want to say Raven's Blood and Guts, but look what he did in WCW. Look how over he was in WCW. Raven was a pretty big deal initially, like, until, you know, whatever booking happened. But Raven used to be really big. So Raven came out of there. Chris Jericho obviously came out of there. Too Cold Scorpio. Like, Too Cold Scorpio was really good. ECW reinvented Terry Funk. Like, Terry Funk, Sabu reinvented wrestling. Quote me, almost everything you see in wrestling now comes from Sabu. Tables, Sabu. The way we use chairs, Sabu. Fucking, I don't even think would Pillmanizing happen without Pillmanizing might happen without Sabu. But yeah, you see all the backflips, all the you know, moonsaults, the Sai moonsaults, the fucking jumping off the ropes, you know, all the like mix of lucha libre and reckless shit that came from Sabu, which came from ECW. So it's like ECW is really a benchmark in wrestling for a reason. Without ECW, wrestling is purely not where it is today, and that is a fact. I just had to nerd out ECW real quick. But yeah, damn, fuck me. And and there's the NWO in 2002 as well, bro. The NWO was really played out. That's so crazy to think.
Slipknot. Yeah, Jeff grabs the microphone, and even with this great opportunity to deliver a fresh new promo, Double J falls back on calling himself the chosen one, calling the
fucking chosen one, man. I can't wait till he covers the Scott Steiner promo like I was talking about. I love that promo. That promo is so good. Man, the advertisements, bro, that's really fucking with niggas. Only 7 minutes into the video, too.
Brilliant. And we continue on with the genetic freak reminding Goldberg that no one puts their hands on Big Papa Pump's freaks. He then says he could shave his ass and walk backwards and he'd still look better than Goldberg's girlfriend. I'll need proof on that. And Scott says he's gonna kick Billy Boy's ass at Fall Brawl. Nash says he doesn't care about the fans and he keeps flipping from babyface to heel so he can sell t-shirts. Big Sexy says he's the puppet master and he sucks people in just so he can make some more money.
Pause.
Fans can't win matches for him, they can't win him championship belts, but the men in the ring right now have his back, and so he's back to being a big old bad guy. One day,
Oh,
study
so we are gonna get the Ric Flair promo scene. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I just have to show you right now. Oh, it's such a goated promo.
at Fall Brawl.
Scott Steiner. He's fat. Oh, bro, Scott Steiner has so many so many amazing moments. So many fucking amazing moments. Scott Steiner thing promo. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Ric Flair promo. Bro, look at this nigga in his purple warrior suit. Like, why the fuck is this nigga in a pimp suit? Like, what's going on, man? Look town. Oh, the whole. Come on. Like, who the. No one's talking like Scott Steiner. Fuck me, bro.
But it's just a damn shame that we had to leave LA and come to this cesspool called
Tulsa. Oh, shit. Like, this is proper heel heat. Do niggas even do this anymore? Like, just normal cheap heat.
proving that I was the daddy.
Whoa.
I was the king of the night. But I'm not one to brag. Medeja, Kim, why don't you tell me what it's like to be with the Purple Warrior?
The purple fucking warrior, man.
You're not just any man between the sheets, honey. Kim, why don't you tell him what he's really like? Oh, that's right. Big
Like-
Papa Pump's not. And he's
This is like the most 90s shit ever. Like, niggas cannot do this shit. Can niggas just do this in wrestling? Like,
Freaks out there.
can niggas just overtly just talk about like sexual themes like that? If you hear me, oh my days, that's a quote right there. Holla if you need me. This is the same guy that used to be in like the in the Steiners. He's made a complete 180. Scott Steiner is one of the best like examples of just natural progression as a character in wrestling.
And I watched a 53-year-old man come out here who has more loose skin.
Then a Sharpay puppy.
Come out here and say he's still the man.
Like, bro, look at how he's just shitting on Ric Flair.
Ric Flair,
But I think this is just a shoot.
your boy, come out here, who's been the butt end of all the jokes, because he's supposed to be the leader.
Look at how excited she is when like he fucking says Buddy Rogers. Like she's just so excited she repeats it. Does she even know who Buddy Rogers is? She might know who Buddy Rogers is. Like look at her right here. She's so excited she repeats Buddy Rogers. Like
God rest his soul. But Ric Flair, your career is dead.
bro. See, why is she chanting that Ric Flair's career is dead? Why is she so happy that Ric Flair's career is dead?
And profiling, because when you used your little brain and stole his name, there's one thing you couldn't steal.
He is just class. Like, there's no cohesion when this nigga talks. There's no thought in his brain. There's no like put two and two. It's just pure anger and testosterone. Like whatever's the next thing that come in mind is the next thing he says. And bro, you have to be amazed at how this nigga can just ad lib with just purely like it looks like roid rage the way he speaks. I know obviously it's not like he's Scott Steiner. He's always been big, but my fucking word, this nigga just. It's pure testosterone when he speaks.
Down that aisle last week, I know I wasn't alone, because the people at home, all they did was grab the remote,
Change the channel to WWF.
and watch Stone Cold, a person you and your old friends got fired from here, because you're a jealous old bastard.
Like, jeez, man. Look at how they're smiling in the back. Like they know he's fucking shooting. Like, is that Chronic or the Harris boys? I think these might be the Harris boys, the security, the Harris boys. And then yeah, fucking Jeff Jarrett here. And then bro, look, Jeff Jarrett and if you look here, Jeff Jarrett and fucking Scott Hall are going back, and these two are going back just in the amazement of what the fuck is this nigga doing? And this is what I mean. There will never be another Scott Steiner. Like. Possibly you could try having Bronson Reed as like Bronson Reed as not why do I keep saying Bronson Reed? I mean fucking Bron Breakker. You can have Bron Breakker like Scott Steiner, but I don't honestly want I want Bron Breakker to be a different type. But if you could have him hone just like the intensity like he is currently right now in his promos the same way he is in his wrestling with Scott Steiner, bro, he could be so fucking over. So that's why I'm fucking mad. Why is Bronson Reed in this fucking faction with why is he in this faction with Seth Rollins? He could be so much better. So much better, so much better. He could like be elevated right now to that main event status, and you could have him in proper feuds with main event people. Don't have him wrestling for the title off rip, but with main event stars. Like you have him wrestling with a Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre should be brought back into the main event. I don't even know what Drew McIntyre is doing at the moment. You can have him wrestling with not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the final boss basically. Like he's the actual final boss for wrestling, not The Rock. It's actually Roman Reigns is the final boss. But you can have him beefing with Seth Rollins. You can have him beefing with. I'm actually lost for words on who are like the main event stars in fucking WWE right now. Damn, that's how cooked WWE is. Like, I wouldn't want him wrestling John Cena at the moment. Nah. He could be wrestling Cody Rhodes. You could have him, fuck it, Jey Uso. Jey Uso's a main eventer now, right? You can have him with main event people, elevating him, getting him to work on these promos, coming across with the crowd, actually being like an intense version of himself, sort of like Scott Steiner, and have him build up, rather than him being a lackey for fucking Seth Rollins. Like C-Jax repeats this all the time, and some of y'all might say C-Jax is a hater, but he's speaking fucking fact. Why are we trapping these niggas in a vortex? Why is Roxanne Perez being stuck in the Judgment Day vortex? Why is Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker being stuck in the Seth Rollins vortex? Have these niggas be their own main event stars. If you want to build main events for the future, when these current wrestlers in their 40s, who are in the niggas in the main events are in their late 30s, and no, some of them in their late 40s, and like early 40s, late 40s, some of them are in their 50s, like John Cena. When these niggas retire, who's next? Have these newer wrestlers fight the older wrestlers. Have them come in. That's what Vince Russo had the good idea with having the New Blood Rising. Now, obviously, Vince Russo didn't fucking do that shit properly. It's Vince Russo. But Vince Russo didn't do that shit properly. So, hey, man. But, like, besides the point, shit. Man. But, yeah, this is the part where he says butt sucking. But he wants to say, you can obviously hear him want to say butt fucking, but he can't get away with it. As I hope UCW sucks. Like, this nigga just shoots on the whole company. Like, hear him. Like, you know he wants to say butt fucking. See, he has no cohesion when speaking. It's just whatever comes in his brain, he's ad-libbing. But just his intensity, just like, look at him, he's fucking up mid-promo. And that adds to the character. Like, this is what and look at how fucking high she is in the background. Like, what the fuck's going on? Bro, this is definitely like one of my favorite promos ever. For just how, look at her, look at her. This is like calling him butt fucking, and then talking with her as well. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? For how bad old fucking Nitro used to. Oh no, did he cover it already? Oh man, he covered it already. I just probably forgot. But yeah, for how bad old Nitro used to be. There's so much highlights for just like on the bad side and the good side too, and that's why like I'm kind of bored of WWE. Like, you can't watch it for how shit it is, and you can't watch it for how good it is. So it's just like this weird middle ground. But fucking man.
All of Kevin Nash's babyface and heel turns at the end of WCW's lifespan, because it's absolutely
no way.
Right
I'm trying to think about it. Kevin Nash is the precursor to Big Show. Big Show always gonna fucking heel and face.
He's going to become champion here tonight. Nash versus Booker is going to take place on Nitro, so there you go, folks. No need
now,
to order the pay-per-view.
see, this is the dumb shit. Like, having pay-per-view level matches should be on Raw, but if you're like advertising a match, for example, Kevin Nash versus Booker T for fucking Fall Brawl, don't have that match earlier on Nitro. Like, wait it out for the pay-per-view. But hey, man, I'm not a booker apparently, so.
Tonight on Nitro. I'm guessing he didn't just hear the championship match announcement that was made 1 whole minute ago. Commissioner Cat comes out, he brings Booker T to the ring so the champ doesn't have to face these boys alone. And Miller tells Russo and his, quote, 3 bitches to get out of the ring. This was a bad move. The babyfaces get attacked, and when
just kick him in. I'm just tired of Vince Russo fucking always being in promos and shit. Like, nigga, get your ass in the back. Go back to the drawing board and fucking work on your craft, because your game absolutely sucks.
up
My
and
nigga,
on,
like,
and that's when
damn.
Bill
You should not be on
Goldberg
TV.
teams
You
up
should
on
be
Donald Trump.
in the back,
Goldberg
writing down
says
pen and
that
paper in
he's
hand and trying to
the
work on how to get a
and
better
says
show.
that
Not trying to get yourself
he's
over. You're not
Vince
no
Russo,
fucking Vince
not the
McMahon.
guy who
And not
does
everybody
what
should be
he's
Vince
supposed to
McMahon,
do.
okay?
Vince Russo.
Like, damn.
Goldberg's coming to
And
the arena
what the
soon.
fuck's
He's
Goldberg
going to
doing?
Russo, and Vince is going to get buried alive because Russo is next. Back in Russo's office, the NWO boys decide to leave Vince all alone. Nash has to get ready for a match. Scott says he has to look good for an upcoming GQ photo shoot. And Jeff has to take a special delivery that's going to help take Goldberg out. Russo's panicking, and things don't get any better when Goldberg phones his office. It's a magical phone too that continues to work even when slammed into a wooden desk.
Goldberg here. You want ratings? I'm on my way.
What the fuck? No, why would you not break it after it? Like, aren't these guys doing it in post as well? I'm tired of these fucking ads, man. Oh, I remember the old YouTube like method when you used to like go all the way to the end and then be able to come back and then be able to fix it. But nah, you can't do that anymore. Damn, what's match? Oh, I forgot about David Flair versus Eric Bischoff. That was actually a pretty good move. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was pretty impressive.
But the match just continued on while the commentators had absolutely no idea if the bout had ended or if it was going to continue.
What?
It's clear to see that the match wasn't.
They're just
supposed to
standing
end
around.
for just 10
What the
seconds
fuck's
or
going
whatever it
on?
was, but
And just
the
a slap.
decision was made to call the bout off, and the competitive
This is the
matches
This is the
back
problem with women's wrestling back then. This is the biggest fault of the Attitude Era and the Nitro days. Just how bad women wrestling was, and they just. We'll talk about High Five is dead.
The Natural Born Thrillers backstage. Conan tells Russo he's just lost his security force, so Russo's going to have to rely on Jarrett's special delivery, I guess. A special delivery of gimmick guitars. I wonder how many died.
Fuck me, man. Like, he definitely killed the guitar gimmick, man.
Versus Val Venus on Raw, while Nitro presents 2 matches: Chronic versus the Harris Brothers, and Lance
Now,
Storm
this
versus Sergeant
is the
Dave.
stock difference
Tag team
between
match on
fucking.
Nitro was a House of Pain Killers, and
This is the stock difference between WWE. No, not even WWE. This is the stock difference between Vince Russo booking and normal booking. You have Vince Russo booking in a time span where you have one match of China versus Val Venus. You have 2 matches of Chronic versus Harris, the Harris brothers. Does anybody actually like the Harris brothers? Like, my nigga. And Storm and who the fuck is Storm and AWOL? Who are these niggas? Like, I understand booking people and getting people over on TV, but not everybody should be booked. Not everybody should be signed. This is the problem. Why did WCW have such a, not even a stacked roster in a good way, a stacked roster in like imagine having a roster of people, but like 75% of them are like 3s and 2s. That's WCW in like a nutshell. And some of these people could have been really amazing, honestly, really amazing. But Vince Russo booking, who's getting over with Vince Russo booking, and especially with not Vince McMahon like filtering it out. No Bruce Pritchard doing the producing for the matches. No Gerald Briscoe. No Jim Cornette. No what's it called? No, I said Gerald Briscoe, Bruce Pritchard. None of these niggas are there. None of the producers are there to help. None of the people are there to bookend the matches. It's just all the thoughts coming out of Vince Russo's head. Imagine being inside Vince Russo's brain. Would you want to be? I wouldn't want to be inside Vince Russo's brain because it would be exactly like the fucking SpongeBob image of like 15 million niggas and a fire in a brain. Because what does Vince Russo think? And I'm not bashing the person Vince Russo. Vince Russo could be the best person in the world. He could be the nicest person in the world. I don't hate Vince Russo. I have no issues with Vince Russo the man, but this is Vince Russo the booker. Okay, and those are 2 completely different people. I'm not criticizing him as a person. I'm criticizing him as a booker in wrestling, which is just, what the fuck, man? The fuck?
Lance Storm versus Sergeant AWOL. The tag team.
But like, yeah, like I was talking, that's the difference between Vince Russo and normal booking. Like, you have a match. Honestly, we can watch this match and then see how it is.
But no one got handcuffed to the cage,
Like, just a random cage match. No, it wasn't advertised. It wasn't brought to like people's attention. It just happened. Like, okay.
Up the 2 teams from fighting each other, and there's nothing else to say about this match really. It's crazy they'd go through the trouble of setting up the cage for 2 minutes of action.
2 minutes, like, bro, 2 minutes. Anything else could happen in 2 minutes, honestly.
another, but I think the fan altercation may have been real, seeing as Doug Dillinger's seen talking to the guy while Chronic and the Harris brothers get broken up. Lance Storm issued a special challenge to the MIA.
Lance Storm. Oh, so it was Storm is in Lance Storm. Okay. I know who Lance Storm is. Okay, but General Rection. Like, bro, why is this nigga wrestling for a title, man? Like, what's going on?
Brother got put through a table.
Triangle death drop. I like that move.
This means Team Canada can grab themselves a prisoner, and Lance takes
the match just ended already. He just recapped the whole match straight away.
She'd be great for locker room morale, plus she might become a good wrestler now that she's Canadian.
Hey.
On Raw, Val Venus did not want Trish Stratus to stand in his corner, so instead she watched the match from the entranceway.
Why?
Venus blames Trish for losing the IC Championship last night.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, because I had the tag team for the championship. Ah, that makes sense.
Back elbows, body slams, and suplexes, but Val struggled to keep Chyna down for a 3 count. Chyna comes back with a clothesline, her handspring back elbow, and a DDT. And when Val began choking his opponent out in the corner, Eddie Guerrero got on the apron, and the champ uses this opportunity to hit a low blow before applying the deadly dick lock.
Understandable. Oh shit.
And he goes up for the money
shot after his dick was hurting like that.
And he decides to leave the ring even though he had the match won. It's ridiculous. He tells Trish to go away. Eddie attacks from behind. Venus gets brought back to the ring, and Chyna wins with a schoolboy pin. I wouldn't say Trish cost Val the match here, rather
now,
Venus's own stupid.
See, this is the difference between Vince Russo booking and normal wrestling booking. So right now we have a full-fledged match. He just broke down the match move by move. The match progressed the storyline. You can see here. He talked about how Trish Stratus was involved in the match. He's angry at Trish Stratus because he lost the money at the pay-per-view before. Makes sense. Makes Trish Stratus go to the entrance stage, and then because of that, Trish Stratus cannot interfere with Eddie Guerrero, so Eddie Guerrero fucks with the referee. Referee pays attention to Eddie Guerrero. Fucking what's her name? Chyna can get low blowing, like cheating action, I lie, cheat, steal, Eddie Guerrero type shit. Get that in, and then obviously the match didn't end there, but progression, pins Val Venus, wins. And then Vince Russo, a 2-minute match that he could barely explain. Hot shot booking, just like Jim Cornette says, hot shot booking. A 2-minute match that he can barely explain. And then fucking another match that just ends straight away with fucking Lance Storm hitting a triangle drop kick, and then having fucking Sergeant AWOL. What are you doing? Why is he wrestling? By having Sergeant AWOL get hit and eventually falling down, and obviously he gets major guns. That's a improvement. No, I mean that's a progression of the storyline, but nonetheless you have that. And then that's the two differences between the book. It's just even down to the way he explained it. In the same segment, he was able to give a full breakdown of a match, while the other side of Vince Russo, he could only give a recount of not even the match, a recount of just what happened, and he talks more about the brawl and cares more about the brawl with the fans than the actual match inside the cage itself. And he brought down a cage as well. For what reason? Not even using the main event or the opening, just using the middle of the show. Nobody's flicking from Raw to, what matters is the end and the start. For example, the start is what gets people intrigued, and the end is what gets people going to the other show. An example of the end would be like when Tony Schiavone said, "Oh, Mankind is apparently going to win the championship on WWF Raw." That put some butts in the seats. That was the ending of WWF Raw. Apparently, like 500,000 people flipped the channel right there. Now, that is a moment that shows the ending matters, and the opening will matter as well, because if I'm a fan, I'm opening, I'm checking Nitro, I'm checking Raw. Which one do I want to watch? Obviously, the opening match is what I'm going to see first, what intrigues me. So that's what matters the most. Most people aren't going to randomly flick through the TV show and be like, oh shit, it's a cage match, let me pay attention. No. Most people are going to watch what is cool at the start and stick with it. And if they're already a Nitro fan, they're going to stick with Nitro. If they're already a Raw fan, they're going to stick with Raw. They're not going to switch in the middle of the show unless the show is that horrible, which is what Nitro was doing. So Vince Russo is just shooting himself in the foot, which is just fucking with me so much. And I'm not even alive. I mean, I wasn't alive in this era. This era is done and over with. But it's just, I never truly experienced Vince Russo booking. When I was watching TNA a little bit with my uncle, I, one, didn't know who Vince Russo was. Two, I didn't give a fuck what was happening on the TV screen. I was just excited. I was a little kid. People punching each other. I saw Sting. I saw AJ Styles. I saw fucking Samoa Joe. Who else? I'm trying to think. Raven wouldn't be around the time I was watching. Yeah, I saw like Austin Aries. I saw like beer money. I saw niggas in little fucking trailer trucks drinking beers and driving down, you know. I'm excited for that shit. So anything will excite me at that point. And then, you know, just I grow up and you hear stories about Vince Russo. Vince Russo is one of the worst bookers of all time. Vince Russo killed wrestling. Vince Russo killed TNA. Vince Russo killed Nitro. And obviously, you can't believe the lies. You don't want to believe the lies. No one man can kill wrestling. And obviously, it is true that Vince Russo did not kill these companies. But watching it through Reliving the War, it is giving me PTSD of Vince Russo for how much bad shit he was doing. Maybe if I had some friends to sit down with and like actually rewatch these proper episodes in full, I could find more enjoyment out of them. But just watching them by myself and reliving the war, Vince Russo, you fucking suck, man. You fucking suck. You have not genuinely done anything good outside of 1999, which is almost 30 years ago now. Almost 30 years ago. Well, over 20 years ago now, but my nigga down.
Here, rather, it was Venus's own stupidity for not delivering his finishing move.
You're not gonna believe what happened.
Yeah, what's with all these ads, my nigga?
On Monday.com. So I started the biggest.
Mike Awesome's wearing a pretty fetching suit that he must have borrowed from his dad. Looking a bit 70s right there, Mr. Awesome.
Oh, we're gonna start the 70s gimmick, man.
But tonight, Awesome wants a warm-up, so he challenged.
That's another thing we just had to talk about. Like, what's with all these gimmicks? Why couldn't Mike Awesome just be Mike Awesome? Like, we all seen the Mike Awesome in WCW, and I've never watched these FMW matches, but I'm considering that the way he was in ECW, same way he was in FMW. Look at the differences. But I think it's because apparently the vets, similar to what happened to Scott Steiner earlier, just didn't want to take like massive hits. They didn't just want to do a bunch of dumb shit, which is like fair enough, you know. Your body is your money. So apparently, like guys like Hulk Hogan didn't want to take all the dangerous stuff that Mike Awesome was doing. I mean, that's cool, but that doesn't mean you have to dilute this guy into that 70s guy. Like, just because the show was pumping doesn't mean. And then this is after the fat chick thriller as well. What the fuck was the fat chick thriller? Like, why was this nigga into fat chicks? I mean, I didn't say the word chicks, but that's legit what he's like gimmick was called. The fat chick thriller. Like, why was he into fat girls? Nothing wrong with fat girls, but as a gimmick, it's like, come on, my nigga. You made this guy a BBW freak.
Rick Steiner to a bunkhouse match on Nitro. I should also point out that some 70s disco music was playing in the background.
70s disco music.
This is the beginning of the
that 70s guy. Yeah.
It's kind of funny how everyone makes a big deal out of the fat chick thriller when it only lasted about 3 weeks or so.
Oh, it only lasted 3
Sting's
weeks.
Going to collide with the Great Muta later on Nitro and the Icon.
That should be a good match. Sting versus Great Muta.
Folks, but don't get your hopes up. We don't see a Muta versus Sting classic on this week's show. Over on Raw, Michael Cole's asking Kurt Angle questions about last night, and Angle says he really can't remember all that much, but he does remember being in a hotel.
It's still crazy to me. This guy had a genuine concussion, and he's just trying to play it off like it's fake. Like, bro, concussions has come a far away from how it used to be treated back in the 90s and in the 2000s. Like, people even recognize concussions in the 70s. I never hear people talk about concussions in the 70s or 80s. It's just mainly like 90s, 2000s, and obviously 2010s with the technology and the treatment we have towards concussions now.
Hunter and Steph are going to work their problems out. The reason Eddie and China get along so well is because they trust one another, and Triple H.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. Eddie Guerrero is definitely he's a backdoorer. He's a I like cheat still type of guy. Oh shit.
Leave the room. Hunter thinks everyone's lost their minds tonight at Raw, and we will come back to Eddie and Hunter a bit later on. That Rick Steiner versus Mike Awesome match is next on Nitro, while Raw presents Steven Richards versus Rikishi.
Now the RTC is actually a pretty good gimmick when you think about
I
it.
don't think Rick Steiner knows any other words except if you want some, come get some. If you don't like me, bite me. And yes, I understand the importance of getting a catchphrase over, but just like Jeff Jarrett, Rick's turned into a pull string toy that repeats
Exactly what's happening in the Jey Uso right now. Like,
was a bunkhouse
it's
match,
damn.
no classic WCW bunkhouse attire or anything else.
Wasn't the bunkhouse the?
Standard hardcore bout.
Wasn't that the fucking the trailer, the one that Dustin Rhodes was in, and then he bladed and he got fired? I think that was one thing that happened. I don't remember.
The 1 week Jarrett brings a literal truckload of guitars to Nitro,
And he doesn't. He uses a lead pipe.
Make it up.
Okay.
Rick Steiner wins. I don't care. On Raw, Stevie Richards is disappointed. He's disappointed that Rikishi brought the hose back to the WWF last night.
The
That
hose.
means this
The
rivalry
hose.
is now personal. Stevie Richards must fight the good
Yeah,
fight.
like-
He must teach Rikishi.
The RTC is a good example of taking real life shit and turning it into like a wrestling storyline. Because obviously you had Parents Against Wrestling and you had the board of directors and like the network who are very against like, you know, the very sexual themes and, you know, the gruesome violence shown on wrestling TV at that time period. And then, you know, WWE's like, you know what, fuck you guys, we're gonna make fun of you guys on TV. That's a good way of doing it, you know. There's a lot of other examples of taking real life shit and turning them into segments. You could do that right now, honestly, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that too much. Another good example is like Matt Hardy versus Edge. That's another big example that everybody knows. Like, you know, I don't want to get into it, but like, if you know, you know. And then it's sad what they did to my nigga Matt Hardy. Like, I think Edge won almost every single match. But like, still, that's a good example of turning heat from real life and making that guy a heel. And there are some examples of doing that now. But I don't remember the last time they truly done that. I mean, the Bloodline does count. The Bloodline is technically a real life thing that they turned into a wrestling storyline, which is cool to think about. But yeah, you can start doing more shit like that. Just more shit, building people up like that, and then like, you know, taking real life situations and either giving them real heel heat or making them baby faces, you know. But apparently, if you don't like it, don't critique it, don't watch it. Triple H said that himself, so.
The meaning of the words appropriate behavior. WWF fans may not know what's good for their children, but the right to censor do. Keish comes out along with 2 hoes. Victoria and Mandy are here too. And after Goodfather and Bull get taken out by Scotty Too Hottie and the Grandmaster, Mr. Richards gets set in place for a stink face.
Damn,
Stevie
stink
manages to
face?
avoid it thanks to censorship-loving teammates.
I would never want to
And
take a
that's
stink
how it
face.
ends.
Like that big
Stevie
booty ass
runs away
nigga,
into
like
the
all
celebrated
that
by
meat
dancing
juice,
with
all
the
that sweat juice up in his ass from
girls
wrestling.
cool.
And you just gotta take that shit, like, bro, that shit probably stank and musty as fuck. And that's another man as well, so it's like shit.
Victoria, oh fuck it, never mind. Fall Brawl arrives early when Booker T defends his world title against Kevin Nash on Nitro. On Raw,
Like,
we've got an
bro, and it's not even a main event. It's not a fucking main event, bro. That actually pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie. You have a title match, world title match, and you don't make your opener a main event. Are we being serious now? Are we being logical? Please.
promo. The tag champions had a hard match last night at SummerSlam, and they aren't in the mood
Now-
for their usual.
TLC 2000, the first TLC match. Well, unless you want to technically count the fucking what's it called? Trying to think. The original triangle ladder match, WrestleMania 2000. But besides that, this is how you produce genuinely good talent. This is how you make really good talent. You know, just have them in like matches, get them over with the crowd, and then, you know, get them up. And then look, all these guys eventually became single stars. You know, legit all of them except for the Dudley Boys. But the Dudley Boys have always been a tag team. Obviously, Matt Hardy found mid-card success. Jeff Hardy found main event success. Well, temporary main event success, but he mid-card and main event success. Edge, obviously main event and mid-card success. Christian, main event, mid-card success. You know, he had his little stints. Like, obviously, my favorite one is when he had his beef with Randy Orton. Like, hey, bro, Money in the Bank 2011 is an S tier WWE pay-per-view. Like, from top to bottom, if you watch it, it really is. Like, that Christian versus Randy Orton match is fucking amazing. And then obviously you have CM Punk versus John Cena, and then the Money in the Bank match, and then I forgot the other matches that was on that show, but that is definitely a top tier event. Honestly, one of the best like non WrestleMania events to come out of the. Honestly, one of the best non Big Four events. Is it Big Four or Big Five? None of the Big Four events. So yeah. Besides that, yeah, this is how you build like, you know, your small event stars. You don't always have to have them mixed in with the fucking main events just yet, you know. You just have them in the mid card fighting between each other, and then whichever one gets over, you take them and put them in mid card matches. You know, obviously they started doing that with Jeff Hardy first. They had Jeff Hardy doing all this shit with Undertaker, trying to legitimize him, trying to make him like, you know, all this main event success. And then you had Edge was doing his shit with Shawn Michaels and everything before he started really going up, and then he obviously had his Money in the Bank, and then he turned around and did shit with John Cena. Christian was doing his shit in the mid card, you know. Obviously, at first, they weren't really giving him his stuff, his props. But when he came back from TNA, he got the ECW championship, and then he started doing his whole "Where's My Peeps" gimmicks. That got really over, and then he started doing his shit with Randy Orton. And then obviously Matt Hardy didn't see main event success, but he saw a lot of mid card success. He had his shit with Edge, of course. He had his shit with MVP. Honestly, the Edge versus Matt Hardy shit is what legitimized Edge to become a main eventer, because that amount of heat helped him during that time before he got the Money in the Bank, and then he versed John Cena. So that's another example of taking real life shit and turning it into real heat. Please, WWE, like, just, I don't know, man. I know booking's not easy, but it can't be that hard. It genuinely can't. If you have a previous track record, especially from wrestlers who've done this shit before and know what they're doing, and old school wrestlers like Triple H and the producers like Dean Malenko, who've seen the golden age and seen how fans used to react and what fans reacted to, and people who used to wrestle in the multiple territory and multiple, like, you know, company era, they should know what should get over and what should work. But it seems like they're just hard-headed, or, you know, we can't purely blame TKO, but man,
some respect to their opponents. The Dudleys aren't here tonight, but North Carolina's own Hardy Boys are. So ENC want the Hardy Boys to come out so the champs can shake their
I love the 3 minute the photo, what's it called, the 3 second pose. That's my favorite shit to come from Edge and Christian.
For too long. Jim's gone, ladies and gents. Jeff Jr. and Fun Size Matt get in the ring with their little...
I still remember when they used to do I remember the last time they did that, it was the Big Cass and Daniel Bryan shit. But they brought like, they don't bring out midgets anymore, do they? I mean, it would be funny if they did do that. I lucky wish they did that still. Oh, the WLC. I need to react to that, the WLC.
The Dudley's pyro then goes off, and fans are excited to see Edge and Christian get their asses handed to them. But we've got Dinky Devon and Itty Bitty Bubba. Look at their sweet table. You could do some serious crayon drawings on that thing. These two get in the ring. Ed says he and Christian aren't going to indulge in the time-honored tradition of shaking their opponent's hands, but rather they're going to mock their much inferior adversaries. So here you go. The Hardys
right, that fucking, why does Jerry Law always go like, like, I just was,
and we then get a
I just went to jail.
That consists of the minis dancing around
I just love my cockies.
the belts while the champions stand.
I'm almost about to die. Like, he just screams at everything. I don't know why.
Edge takes a twist of fate. Matt then uses the kiddie table to wipe Christian out before Jeff uses a
poetry in motion, man. That's a goated move. They need to bring that shit back.
The grown-up adult-sized ladders into the ring, and poor Edge gets sandwiched. Before the Hardys can leap off those ladders, though, Christian pulls his tag team partner to safety. Good promo here, and it's remarkable how no one's tired of this rivalry at all. These two teams have been
they just know how to do that shit. Like, they have some of the best chemistry ever.
Still feels exciting. Vince Russo provides commentary for this WCW.
Fucking Vince Russo color commentary. I'm just trying to think about that.
And WCW had the gall to promote the upcoming Booker versus Nash match.
Bruh, look at these match graphics. I can make those match graphics in not even Photoshop. That's like Microsoft Paint. Like, and that's supposed to be for the like next pay-per-view, and that shit looks like it's made out of PNGs and fucking what's it called? PNGs and default fonts. Like, man, WCW, you make me laugh.
Fall brawl before they fought here on Nitro. Russo says there's going to be a New York screw job in this match before leaving the commentary table. And surprisingly, Jeff starts counting Nash out when the match goes to the outside. Not only that, Jarrett sends Russo back to the commentary table. So we all know what's going to happen here. Jarrett's going to pretend like he's calling it down the middle and he's going to end up screwing Booker over. You can see it coming a mile off.
Ready to discover
Bro, what's up with the advertisement? What?
at Open Universities Australia.
As the match progresses, Nash gets more and more angry at Jeff's insistence in being a fair referee. Vince Russo's losing his mind as Double J won't provide Nash with fast counts and what have you. And Russo really goes nuts when Steiner attacks Booker from the apron and Double J tells Scott to hit the bricks. An argument breaks out between Jarrett and Russo on the outside. Jeff tells Vince to go back to the commentary table. And when Nash begins choking Booker out in the ring, Double J forcefully breaks the hold. This allows Booker and Nash begins.
I don't know if you guys are like, if you guys know about the 5 Moves of Doom. I think the 5 Moves of Doom originated from fucking Kevin Nash. I remember because Jim Cornette was watching, because in the new generation, obviously after Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went to WCW, Vince McMahon thought it was a smart idea in his head to have the fake Diesel and fake Razor Ramon. Now, why in the world would he do that? Lord knows. But yeah, he decided to do that, and then Jim Cornette had to study fucking the tapes of Diesel so he could get the fake Diesel. And then I think it's called the 5 Moves of Doom. Kevin Nash. I think the 5 Moves of Doom, if I can remember it off the top of my head, was Big Boot, Boot in the corner, Jackknife Powerbomb, punches, and hair whip. Like legit hair whip. Like him going like that is one of his 5 moves. Like it's funny to think about. Yeah, it says here Big Boot, corner foot choke, repeated knee or elbow strikes the cornered opponent, snake eyes, and walking side-eyed slam. And that's not including the hair whip. So like, yeah, fuck me, man. And Kevin Nash even like agrees here like himself. He said, yeah, I only have 5 moves. I just knew how to do it. That's just bruh. But yeah, the 5 Moves of Doom concept, I think that originated with Kevin Nash. So that's cool to know. Oh, well, 6 moves, like the corner clip right here, like he's explaining it himself. You guys just hear it yourself.
Suddenly reared its ugly head. I remember, I don't know when they debuted, it was sometime in as a matter of fact, I could probably find out. 1996, I'll just flip around. If I could find Tulsa, because we were at Vince McMahon's house.
Hey, what do you get when you spell Tulsa backwards? I'm just leaving that there.
And we were writing television, and that was a Thursday, and I left the next day on Friday to go to Tulsa and Oak City.
Bro, I love American country accents. I don't know why. It's just fucking funny to me. Probably because I used to always watch like all the cowboy movies and shit, and obviously Woody and all that.
I believe I was still managing Vader. I can't find it, nevertheless. The point is, I get to Tulsa, and some of the guys say, Nash and Hall are coming back. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, it was
fake Razor Ramon and fucking fake Diesel. Like my nigga, my word.
96-ish or
I don't know who thought that was a smart idea.
On Live Wire or some shit that Diesel and Razor are coming back. I said I was just at the owner of the company's house.
Like, bruh, like for y'all niggas that don't know about that shit, fake Razor and Diesel. You know, fucking this was Kane's, like one of like Kane's first gimmicks. That's so crazy to think about. Like, look at this nigga. Look at these niggas. Look at these niggas. Like, I don't know. For niggas that said Vince McMahon didn't really take jabs at WCW, I fucking lie. Vince McMahon constantly takes jabs at other companies he's at competition with. You guys just tribalism and then like really fuck with it like that. But just look at that shit, my nigga. Like, who thought this shit was smart? And then fucking Glenn Jacobs, Kane's other gimmick, Isaac fucking Yankem. Who thought that shit was, I don't know, an evil dentist. An evil fucking dentist with bad teeth. This is what like Vince Russo had to save WWE from. That is the only credit I'll give him as a booker. This is what he had to save WWE from. Isaac fucking Yankem. a bad dentist. A bad dentist. Like Glenn Jacobs is lucky he landed on Kane. Because apparently Kane was his last gimmick. Like if Kane failed, he would have been like gone from wrestling. And Kane survived him from 97 all the way until now. Everybody still remembers Kane. Like Kane was misbooked a lot after his first initial run and the Attitude Era. He was misbooked a lot. But he lives like in the Hall of Fame and he lives in people's memory until now, just as much as The Undertaker. So damn, he clutched it out for real.
Yesterday, I'm on the creative team. We were writing television. No, I know nothing of this. And suddenly he's announced to the world. And so all weekend we're like, what the fuck? And I called, I don't even know if Bruce was there. Bruce knew. I talked to Bruce on Sunday and he said, oh yeah, we're going to do this. And when I heard the idea, he'd gotten up that morning and said, I own the rights to Diesel and Razor Ramon, so we're just going to have them.
Why?
And he got,
I don't know what's going through their head.
Rick Bogner to
obviously that's just going to turn people to the other product. They're just going to see how dumb this shit is. But
Glenn Jacobs to be Diesel. But no, here's the story. Even though this is in 1997, you don't mind, do you?
No.
I said, okay, how are we going to do this? He basically wanted me to teach them how to be Razor Ramon and Diesel.
How do you teach another man to wrestle like another character?
Dave Benoit
like gimmicks belong to the person themselves.
I said, give me 5 or 6 Razor Ramon and 5 or 6 Diesel matches so that, I can make notes and tell these guys. I watched them at home, wrote down the moves. Nash, that's where I got the line 6 moves. I wrote down every move that Kevin Nash did, every idiosyncrasy he did in the ring, and I got to 6, and that was with the hair flip. The back elbow, the side knees in the deal, the fucking flipper punch, the fucking hair.
And the jackknife.
Side slam, and there's something else. It's been 15 years, so power bomb, yes. There you go. You find another one, motherfucker. Up till 1996, you go to one of his matches and find him doing something else.
Now, I'm a fan of Kevin Nash. This is no disrespect to Kevin Nash. It's obviously coming from thing, but fuck, 5 moves of doom. I look. You wanna someone here has like 10 moves of Kevin. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? What the fuck? But yeah, I'll look. You want to see the 10 moves? I want to see what it's good. So what are the comments saying? That's Nash. Effortless cool, but that hair flip though. 10 moves of Kevin Nash. Let's check this shit out. Honorable mentions. Multiple. Hey man, was he actually lying though? That's the real question. Backbreaker. Now I look, you don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm gonna take off the music. Like, he just did such simple moves, but hey man, it worked out for him, so cool though. Hey man, I mean, that just shows the simplicity of wrestling. You don't have to do like every fucking big move or backflips or like this to earn money. Like shit, sometimes you just gotta be big and know how to get over with the fans. Like honestly, if I was a wrestler, if I didn't have love for the sport like I do, like if I wasn't such a big fan, honestly I'd do the Kevin Nash method. Just do as least as I can. Fuck it, niggas will hate me. I'll go more than you. Fuck you, like type shit. You can hate me all you want, but the God speaks different. The fans are clearly fucking with me. I don't give a fuck what the smart fans say. But I mean, at least he upgraded it by another like 4 moves. He did upgrade it by another 4 moves. Now, this does not discredit Kevin Nash at all. Obviously he still got over it with this little amount of moves, but shit. I look-y want to see one more. The big boot, like I said, yeah, big boot. Now, the big boot, if you're used by the right guy, can really be big. Like, obviously, Hulk Hogan big boot, we all know that. I think does Kane do the big boot? I don't know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now, Sean Waltman knows how to fucking take a slam. Yee, grabbed his ass up like that. This nigga look, bruh. The way Greg this nigga up, it's like he's trying to shake him for his fucking pocket change. Like them high school bully, like, give me your money, nigga. Give me your money, nigga. Like, that's exactly what it looks like right now. Like, that nigga raised up to the sky like a high school bully. Oh, Sting took that one rough. I don't know. He didn't do the same to Rey Mysterio. Yeah, kind of. He did that because Jericho did. Release gut wrench powerbomb. Okay, so Jim Cornette might have stretched it with the 5 moves of doom. Obviously, he has more than 5 moves. Seeing by this guy showing the footage right now. But hey, man, it's like another 3 sidewalk slam. I look, you want to see if he add that head flip though. Like, it would be funny as shit if he had that head flip. Sidewalk slam, like I said before. That nigga had a nice sidewalk slam though. Like, that should look like it did damage. Very smooth as well. Choke slam, yeah. And I think choke slam is just by default a move by every big guy. Like, if you're big, you just naturally use a choke slam. I don't know why. It's just like, it's legit written in like wrestling lore. Like, if you're a big guy, you must use the power. You must use the fucking thing. If you're a big guy, you must use the choke slam. Like, it's just in lore. It's just in the wrestling books. Like, apparently, because every big guy I see just casually be using the choke slam. Now, yes, it does make sense as a wrestler. But hey, one thing I do attribute to Kevin Nash is he did make his powerbombs look different. Like, he made them look way different. It's not like the normal powerbomb where you raise that nigga up, have him like here and hold it. It just looks like he actually just like grabs him and just releases him. Like, it looks kind of reckless. Obviously, it would have been safe for the amount of times that niggas took that shit. It must have been safe. But yeah, he did make that powerbomb his own. And it did make him different. Like, there is a difference between a normal powerbomb and a jackknife powerbomb. Which is like all the merrier to him, you know. And fuck, he's powerbombed Big Show, my nigga. And Big Show's like 7 foot. So hey, like, clearly he did something that worked out. So, you know, all the respect to my nigga Kevin Nash. But that hair flip though.
Choking Booker out in the ring, Double J forcefully breaks the hold, and this allows Booker to build his comeback. We see the greatest hits here, including the Harlem sidekick, the axe kick, and the missile dropkick. Scotty Steiner runs down to interfere again, and Booker knocks him off the apron just before Nash takes a bookend. Booker covers Big Kev while Russo passes Jarrett his guitar, and yeah, you saw this coming. Booker gets hit with the acoustic equalizer. Big Nash gets up.
I mean, it was bound to
come down.
I mean, hey man, it's bound to happen. When it comes to Jeff Jarrett, like, that guitar is definitely used whenever.
Right here, and I don't even think WCW wanted Booker chasing the belt going into Fall Brawl. It just feels like Nash was made champion.
Like, what was the point?
And I say this as
You shouldn't even have had the match to begin with, honestly. Was this when Kevin Nash was head booker? I think this might have been when Kevin Nash became head booker a bit later. That's what. No. For $1 million company, that looks fucking unsafe, and like anybody can walk in and out of there. Honestly,
because the fun has just begun.
They just put exit on the sign. They didn't even. They just have exit and enter in paper. They didn't even actually engrave it or anything. But hey, man.
Kurt Angle's stirring the pot. It's what he does best. If Eddie Guerrero's a real man, he should show China what she really means to him. Eddie should challenge Triple H to a match because Eddie needs to fight for his woman. And
this nigga is an instigator. This nigga's an instigator. Nux to my nigga fucking Kurt Angle. He's an instigator, man. He's a nigga. He's a bona fide nigga.
Hunter knows what's up when Eddie reveals he was talking to Kurt Angle, but the game also says Eddie just wrote a check that his ass can't cash.
That's a lie. This is what I mean. Cold as ice. That's what I mean by, like, this guy has some good remixes. Yo, cold as ice and willing to sacrifice. It's No, like, I don't know how this guy's actually made me a Steve Blackman fan. Like, I bet the only thing I knew about Steve Blackman before this shit, yeah, the only stuff I knew about Steve Blackman before actually watching Reliving the War was the SummerSlam match against, what's his name? SummerSlam match against Shane McMahon, where he hits him with the kendo stick and then makes him fall down and then he jumps on top of him. That's the only thing I knew about Steve Blackman. But rewatching this shit and having his commentary on top, he's definitely made a fan of the motherfucker. Like, he's made me a big fan of the motherfucker, I can't lie.
And Taz isn't happy about Jim Ross almost blinded
Oh.
last night at SummerSlam. Taz says there's going to be not one, not two, not three, but 3 victims tonight on Raw. I'm not joking either.
1, not 2,
Not 3.
but 3 victims.
What?
Blackman, Lawler, and JR
Why?
will be victims.
Why'd he say not 1, not 2, not 3, but 3? Like, nigga, isn't it not 1, not 2, but 3 victims? Like, this nigga just did the fucking Van Daminator. Just, hey, catch it. Hey. He legit just did a Van Daminator.
Blackman's teaching Taz the exact same lesson. Taz gets kneecapped by Master Steve, and some insane karate makes Taz rethink his career choices. Eventually, the human suplex machine gets the better of Sensei, and the match goes outside again. Taz gets the opportunity to smack Jerry Lawler with a trash can lid, and fair dues, this looked great. But the one-man...
This nigga has these issues with the commentators, and it's funny because he becomes a commentator in the NT, so it's like, this nigga just beefing his future job and his future fucking co-workers.
Time to go back and defend the universe.
But honestly, Taz made a really good transition to commentary. Like, I think he's still doing commentary in AEW now, which is big ups to my nigga Taz. Like, he was misbooked in WWE, for being honest. Like, if you saw how he was initially booked and then how he's booked now in the Reliving the War series, it's truly a crime how they did my nigga Taz. So he transitioned to booking and still being able to live in like wrestling lore now is pretty impressive.
Matches are either really good or really bad, so
Yeah.
at least it's something. Crowbar shows up to attack Douglas, but this was a bad move because Crowbar gets body slammed from the balcony all the way to the concession table. How does such a thing happen? Well, Crowbar was
That's a
distracted
bump.
by Daphne and her new boyfriend. And her new boyfriend's that same R&B security goon I pointed out a month ago who kept hogging
Who
the
the
camera
fuck?
every time he was on TV. I guess it makes sense now. This guy doesn't
Daphne's
last long
bad
anyway.
though.
Don't
R.I.P.
invest
Rest in
it, though
peace.
I'm sure
Rest in
you
peace,
can plan
Daphne.
on
But
getting
she
invested.
bad though. She
Shane
bad.
gets in the ring. He says what we just saw was a little warm-up for Fall Brawl. He calls himself the reason people tune in to Monday Nitro every week, and at this point I think more people are tuning in to see Tori. But Mr. Franchise decides
Yeah,
to
at
issue
this
an
point,
open
I'm being
challenge
honest.
to anyone in the back, and
It's
that
like
challenge
when
is
Shane Douglas wasn't able to like
dear.
why is he
Had
reacting
Shane
like
left
that?
after the crowbar bump,
But
then
when
this
Shane
would
Douglas
be
wasn't able to
fine. But
fucking
of course, Goldberg wrecks the
swear like a
franchise,
sailor,
he makes him
and he wasn't one of the
look
first people to swear like a sailor,
Goldberg
his
manages to
promos
bust himself
really
open
didn't
after
like,
a spear.
you know, hit the
I
same
guess
as
he
much.
ran right into Shane's belt or something. I'm not going to laugh at this.
Bruh,
but
that is,
keeping
if
yourself
you've
fit
seen,
after running through your opponent's actually kind of cool.
if you've seen one big Goldberg, if this is not even a Goldberg match, but if you've seen one Goldberg segment, like, if you've seen one Goldberg match, even a Goldberg segment, you've seen every Goldberg match. Spear, spear, fucking, what's that move? Is it jackhammer? Whatever the fucking move's called. And then pin, and then done. Like, bruh. Why is he wrestling Gunther is a concerning question. Why is in the big 2025 Goldberg able to wrestle still? Jeez. Oh, it's a white boy. It's a white boy shit. He's gonna cover the white boy shit soon. Oh, that's gas. Man, why the fuck's all this shit?
Have a peek at this.
On Raw next, Lita defends her women's championship against Jackie. On Nitro, we've got Double J versus Big Vito. And fans of women's wrestling,
Jeff Jarrett just stay in the scene. Like, nigga, you can fuck off sometimes, man. You don't have to be there all the time.
Flying head scissors and a Hurricane Rana from Lita. Jackie avoided a superplex by dropping Lita on her face, and this gets followed up with a few.
Now, if they had more wrestling matches like this on TV, like women's matches could have went so much further, faster than how long it took for it to get like to the point it is now, honestly. And even now, it's not as respected as, well, the men's, of course.
Rougher around the edges for sure, but seeing a clean, no nonsense women's match on Raw is a good thing.
That's what I'm
Though there,
saying.
of course, has to be some drama after the bell when Edge and Christian show up. Lita backs off to the apron. This allows Jackie to launch.
Honestly, that's some natural shit there. That's not really big drama. Like,
taken out rather easily. And inside the ring, Lita takes a spear from Edge before the heels make their escape. Still a decent enough match here though, and it's good to have a women's match that I don't have to worry about getting demonetized over.
That's what I'm saying.
WWF. Over on Nitro, I've already seen way too much of Jeff.
That's what I'm saying. Why is Jeff Jarrett everywhere? Like, fuck me,
Jeff
man.
Jarrett versus Big Vito match. Again, at least it's not the main event match, and at this point, I don't think anyone really cares if Vito wins or if he loses. So you'd like to think WCW gave Jeff a clean victory here, and that's exactly what they did.
Oh shit, they did.
Itself may have sucked, but it had the right outcome. Vito thought he had it won after a back suplex followed by a diving headbutt. He then went for the Impaler DDT, but Jarrett countered with the stroke.
Nigga had him by the juncture. Nigga give him a wedgie while doing the move.
Much tonight, we aren't done yet, because he goes back to his truck full of guitars and he gets greeted by Mike Awesome. I imagine Mike fumbling around while getting himself in there.
This nigga just appear out of nowhere. How do you even get under? Like, hey, wait. Who put all the fucking guitars over him? Like, that's too well stacked and well placed. There are some questions to be asked. Is this nigga a psychic? Is this nigga a magician? Because how the fuck is he doing this shit? Because look at the way he pops out. Like,
I imagine Mike fumbling around while getting himself.
He was well placed under those like fucking guitars. There's no way he could have done that himself. Them guitars would have been flying around when he tried getting in. That had to be help. It's like no one explained there's like a second person or something.
Double J gets power slammed on the back of a pickup truck, and I know we've got a very keen viewer who's been counting how many guitars have been broken on Nitro since Jeff's return, and I'd say you don't need to count these ones right here, mate. The Natural Born Thrillers had another.
The white boys.
Mike Sanders says he knows the Thrillers are pretty, but they're all about business. Serious business. The animals stuck their noses where they don't belong, especially Disco with his big gonzo snout. So the Thrillers want a 5-on-5 elimination match against the animals, and this means Tigress competed in another match. Of all the talent they've got in WCW to compete twice tonight, and they chose Tigress. This is also the first time we've officially seen Conan in the ring in ages, and the crowd went when K-Dog went to work. Though every animal and every Thriller got counted out after they took part in a brawl, except for Tigress and Mike Sanders. Mr. Above Average thought this was hilarious, but Tigress had a plan. A plan that consisted of a slap to the face, a boot to the balls, and a Bronco Buster in the corner. Your typical Saturday night after a few too many beers.
Hey man, I'll take that move. I'll take that move. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wins after delivering the 3.0, so it's a win for the Natural Born Thrillers. Goldberg's taking Scott Steiner out backstage. Russo's now.
Damn, my nigga's slumped. That doesn't even look like Scott Steiner no more. Look at him, man. This nigga beat his ass so bad he has a mustache now. Oh wait, now he has a good tee. Oh my dumb ass. My fucking dumb ass.
He now has zero backup. Vince apologizes for making Vito's life difficult. Vito says it's all good, and Vito gives Russo a kiss because why the hell not?
Okay.
Nash is out, Double J's buried under a bunch of guitars, and Scotty's taking a nap too. So Russo's going to come to the ring and try to put an end to this Goldberg nonsense once and for all, while on Raw, Triple H takes on Eddie Guerrero. Russo reminds everyone that this is his show and these are Russo's people. He's refusing to be intimidated by Bill Goldberg, and now the big Vito's here, Billy Boy better come out and get what's coming to him. Goldberg gets called out. Russo reminds Bill that he can't lay a finger on him, which makes Billy Boy bark at the WCW writer.
So why'd he bark at him? What the fuck? That nigga pre-speed.
But Bill's got a mortgage to pay and he's not stupid. Russo orders Vito to take out the garbage, and that's exactly what Vito does. The former Luke smacks Vince from behind, and Goldberg looks on while Russo gets his ass kicked.
Like,
there's no one here to help Vince. Everyone's been knocked out, so Russo gets destroyed. And
like, what type of booking is this? Like, why does he force himself into the main event? Not everybody has to be Vince McMahon, and it's fine. You can just. Vince McMahon did some irreparable damage to the wrestling scene, because now all these like fucking bookers think they can be in the main event and shit. That's actually such a weird thing about the 90s. Like, the 90s, like, just all the owners of companies are just in the fucking main event scene and shit. And then that tradition just continued on. Like, obviously in ECW, Paul Heyman, head booker, he's playing a character. We have Vince McMahon, head booker, playing a character. No, well, not head booker, but like owner of the company, playing a character. Eric Bischoff, head booker, playing a character. Vince Russo, head booker, playing a character. And TNA, Jeff Jarrett, owns the company, playing a character. And then we have fucking, now in AEW, Tony Khan, playing a character. Like, why is everybody just trying to force himself into their wrestling? Like, just, it's cool to be in the background, you know? It's like, if you're in the background, you can make as many fuck-ups and people will not care. But because you're on screen, everybody's gonna get on your ass. Everybody's gonna give you all this shit because they see you on screen and they know who you are. Like, come on. And then, every mistake you make, they're gonna use it as a meme on you as well. You've seen all the fucking Vince McMahon memes, and Tony Khan probably has a million memes as well. So every fuck up that you do, every shit piece of booking that you do, that is ending up on your fucking screen, and that is ending up in your feed, your replies, everywhere, my nigga. You are not running away from all your embarrassing moments. That's all I'm telling you. Me personally, well, I'm streaming, so I can't run away from my personal embarrassments. But like, as a head booker, while having the weight of doing like not poor business, but having the weight of all the criticisms and having to do all this shit in wrestling, and then open my phone where it's my free time or my open space and seeing niggas openly make fun of me, my face, my looks, and my whole demeanor, like, I'll lose it. I don't know how these niggas do it, honestly. I don't even know how I'd do it if I make it. Fuck it.
Does Mamacita a hug, let alone Triple H? And speaking of China, she's watching this one in the backstage area. Hunter comes back with a Harley Race knee. Guerrero takes a kicking in the corner.
That one look bad.
Back elbow puts Latino Heat back on the mat, and Eddie gets planted with a vertical suplex. We see the Ric Flair knee drop before Eddie tries.
We love the Ric Flair moves. We love the Ric Flair moves.
Goodbye at someone getting thrown out of the building, so they have no interest in Eddie's Hurricane Rana, but they do pay attention when Eddie goes up for the.
Get some more water.
The game avoids it. He then gets the opportunity to flatten Eddie with a pedigree. Well, Kurt Angle makes an appearance, and not only does Kurt take out Triple H with a chair shot, he also takes out Eddie Guerrero, the Olympic gold medalist.
I understand like the pain and obviously concussions, but one of the main things I miss about old wrestling is definitely chair shots to the head. Like, I wish I got to watch chair shots to the head, honestly. Because when done right, they definitely like progress a storyline. They show intensity and like, you know, their hatred of a person. But obviously for the safety of the wrestlers, like, hey, I'm not gonna force anybody to do nothing. Damn, what's with these ads, my nigga? Like, the fuck?
Is your garage as safe as can B&D?
Main event time, oh yeah.
Before we check out our main events, Raw presented an intergender tag team match. Perry Saturn and Terry versus Al Snow. And
okay, like, hey, this era of wrestling has some fuck.
Kane told Michael Cole he's going to give the world something to be afraid of when he beats The Rock for the title. And the
look at this nigga. This nigga have bad breath. Like,
and earlier in the evening, Kane told Michael
Cole, look at the way this nigga Michael Cole moving away from you. Look at the way he's wincing. This Kane just have some very horrible breath. Like,
when he beats The Rock for the title, and the people are going to be represented by a real life monster.
Oh, my stream's fucking up. My word, man, it keeps chopping up and shit.
On Kane tonight, and The Rock wondered if Kevin Kelly was mentally and physically prepared to tickle the anus of a monkey.
Tickle.
Kane's not going to represent the people. Only one man represents the people, so The Rock's fixing to whip Kane's candy ass all over Greensboro. A lot of confidence here for a man who took a big boot right from the get-go as our main event gets underway. Rock tries to cool the big red machine down, but this seems to piss Kane off even more. Rock takes a few shots in the corner, and the WWF champ gets planted with a power slam. The crowd cheer for the great one as he takes a suplex, and another comeback attempt gets stopped with a sidewalk slam. Kane goes upstairs, we see the diving clothesline. Rock finally manages to buy himself some time after a Samoan drop, and he capitalizes with a jumping clothesline and a DDT. We then see a referee bump as Rock gets thrown into Earl Hebner, and while the referee's down, Rock delivers a spinebuster followed by the People's Elbow. There's no one to make the count, so Rock tries to revive the fallen official, but this gives Kane the opportunity to perform a chokeslam. 1, 2, kick out at 3. So Rock gets himself up and he delivers a Rock
the way he's speaking just getting me invested in these matches.
Kane kicked out of the Rock bottom, which at this time was really rare. So the match goes outside where the two try to do as much damage to each other as possible.
I mean, that means they're really putting over Kane as this monster-ass guy. I mean, this is after he's returned too. Like, look, he has a different drip. He has a different attire. You know, he doesn't have all the, like, he's not suited up anymore. He just has more skin out and shit. He's like, has a different face mask. I don't know why they don't have this old Kane on WWE anymore, man. I want to see that shit. They have Biker Taker, but they don't have Masked Kane.
So Rock delivers.
This guy was a menace, like way more than Bold Kane in my opinion.
After a successful 3 count.
I like Moss Kane more than Bold Kane, even though Bold Kane is what I grew up with a lot. Bold Kane, and obviously when he was with like Team Hell No, and then Authority came.
After the Champs Gold, and I'd be all for that, honestly. The Rock and Triple H stuff needs to be given a rest about now. On Nitro, we don't really get a match between Sting and Muta. Instead,
oh man, I wanted a match.
The two travel around the ringside area while beating
That's like the worst part about 90s wrestling. It's just the fucking brawling everywhere. Like, these niggas didn't even wrestle to wrestle. These niggas just dish shit to dish shit.
Sorry, the Nitro Vision.
Oh, I thought he was gonna do like a fucking front flip off the top.
Smoke starts shooting up from the entrance stage.
The fuck going on?
Ready to jump off the scaffold. And yeah, okay, it looked like shit.
Yeah, like what was the whole point of that?
They end up on top of the scaffold.
This shit where Sting gets burnt on fire? Oh no, that's a different match.
As this plays out, there's an awkward mixture of silence and boos. This
yeah, because you want to see that shit, honestly.
But the execution was pretty terrible.
Yeah, agreeable.
How would you like to see His Excellency before Nitro goes off the air? Oh yeah, Goldberg's dragged Vince Russo to the desert. He's about to bury Russo in a shallow grave, and Bret the Hitman Hart shows up.
Oh shit,
Bret doesn't want
man,
to have all the fun.
fuck.
Bret says nobody hates Vince Russo as much as he does.
Obviously, like,
Survivor Series 97.
Bret should have been wrestling still at that moment. Like, it's sad. Like, honestly. But, you know, it's a long time ago. I believe he's gotten over it. You know, it's not an issue anymore. But I don't know, he still appeared on TV after not wrestling anymore, honestly. But it makes sense for his contract. But the worst part of Vince Russo, it's like M. Night Shyamalan. Like, people know he's gonna swerve. So instead of being like, you know what? As a swerve, I'm not gonna swerve anymore. Nah, it just keeps doing that shit again and again. The twist, but he calls it a swerve because he wants to be cool. Like, man, Vince Russo, you a bitch, bro. Vince Russo the booker, not Vince Russo the person.
Had a decent women's match, a great Christian promo, and Eddie versus Triple H wasn't bad either. Nitro, meanwhile, had the better show-long story featuring Goldberg and Russo.
I mean, I say it's questionable, but yet again, he watched it and I didn't, so it's understandable.
The Angle and Triple H storyline on Raw has been good for a while now, but this week it wasn't as good as previous weeks.
Fair enough.
While I did want to give Nitro the point, I just can't look over Kevin Nash winning the world title for no good reason, and the really crappy Muta versus Sting.
Oh, I thought he was gonna do a draw at least.
Forget that women's match, which ranks up there, is one of the worst I've ever seen on Nitro.
Damn.
So yeah, Raw wins. I can't look over the bad things on Nitro this week. Raw got a 4.9 this week in the TV ratings, while Nitro got a 3.5. You may think things were looking up for WCW here, but Raw was in a different time slot. Still good to see more people check out WCW, and hopefully these returning viewers enjoyed the more positive things Nitro had to offer this week. Next week on Raw, we're going to try to solve a mystery. Hunter got arrested on SmackDown for spousal abuse.
Alright, so, you know I did say I was gonna play Simpsons Hit and Run, but I didn't realize I was in this bitch for 3 hours just watching fucking this shit. So it's like, nah, fuck it, I'll play it tomorrow. Okay, so I'm really fucking with this shit. If y'all want me to, I do want to make this like a weekly occurrence. I'm really fucking with Nitro. I mean, reliving the war, and obviously a new one's coming out tomorrow. I can do it like tomorrow or Saturday, and soon I will play Simpsons Hit and Run, and then I'll finish off the WWE 2K14 shit. So that's all cool and all, you know. Y'all niggas stay chill. Y'all niggas stay